Hey folks, it's Matt once again, and Steven Seagal is marked for death. Which is weird. I mentioned this before in my previous review that has a picture from, I believe, the James Bond film License to Kill, where the semi's doing a wheelie, but that's an MGM film and it's a James Bond film, but this is a 20th Century Fox film for Steven Seagal. So why the hell is this in it? That's not in the movie. Good job, Fox. Good job, buddy. Good job. But yeah, Marked for Death. Around this time, he was doing a lot of movies with Warner Brothers. And I guess he was able to go out and make a movie with another studio. And this being, other than Machete, his only time working with 20th Century Fox. And it's one of those things where I swear, and I could absolutely be wrong, but I swear that 20th Century Fox at first wanted Seagal to do Predator 2. I swear that they're like, well, we got Predator 2, and this guy's made, this breakout, he's a breakout action star, and he's definitely different from Schwarzenegger. Let's get him to do Predator 2. Because then I remember an interview with Stephen Hopkins who said that the studio wanted him to get Steven Seagal, but Stephen Hopkins said no, he wanted Danny Glover. Which I love Predator 2. I think Danny Glover did a great job. Maybe it'd be okay in this time frame for him to do Predator 3, like 2-3 years after, which would have been around 93. Because he didn't, yeah, he could have done that after Under Siege. And then 94 would have been On Deadly Ground, because it was Under Siege 92. Could have done that after Under Siege. So yeah, that would have worked out, do Predator 3, but I swear Fox wanted him for Predator 2, but Stephen Hopkins said no again because he wanted Danny Glover. So like, okay, do we have another? Well, this has here's another script that has Jamaican drug dealers, but we could do this other stuff. And considering Seagal's later track record with horror sci-fi, he probably would have made it so that Predator 2 didn't have a fucking predator in it. Just like when I did the Submersion Attack Force, I'll mention that. Although, funny enough, there's another interview, speaking of which, with the director of Attack Force, that I swear to God, in the written text, the interview, the director of Attack Force says that Seagal came up to him with a copy of Predator 2 and says, I want to make a movie like this. Unless that director was full of shit. That was what was in the written interview. I don't know. So I'm like, so did he like Predator 2? Or was he like, man, I wish I was in Predator 2? But either way, there was another script, and Jack Craven told me about this. Thanks once again. The original script by Michael Grace and Mark Victor was titled Screwface. It did pretty much have the same story, most of the characters, but it was still almost completely different from the final film because of massive changes Steven Seagal made on the script. And then Seagal went and tried to claim how he came up with the story and wrote the entire script on his own. But after a labor dispute and trial of the Writers Guild of America, they gave the writing credits to Grace and Victor. And yeah, written by Michael Grace and Mark Victor is on there. Although produced by Michael Grace, Mark Victor, and Steven Seagal. In the original script, John Hatcher, Seagal's name in this, was originally called John Stefano. He and his family were Italians. Instead of being a DEA agent, he was a freelance troubleshooter working for various people on both sides of the law. He had a wife and kid who were killed while he was on one of his jobs. While in the film, he has a partner who gets killed on the job. And he goes to visit his sister and his niece, and the niece is actually played by Danielle Harris. Because this film is directed by Dwight H. Little, who directed Halloween 4 And I'm guessing this got him the job for Rapid Fire. And on the trivia, it says that Seagal wanted Dwight H. Little because of Halloween 4. I don't see Seagal sitting down and watching Halloween 4. I can't picture that. Can you? Can you picture Steven Seagal watching Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers? Who knows? Maybe secretly he loves those kind of movies. If he's watching Halloween 4 and then another says he wants this movie to be like Predator 2, I don't know, maybe he's got some secret, I don't know. I wonder if someone made that up and put it on IMDb trivia, but that'd be fun. That'd be a fun idea that Seagal sitting down and watching Halloween 4 says, I want to work with that guy. I'd be like, that'd be pretty cool. But getting back to the original script, the film was titled Screwface. And Screwface's game were far more dangerous and vicious. When Seagal and his friends attacked Screwface's mansion in Jamaica, they get captured and brutally tortured for hours until they managed to break free and take out the first Screwface twin and his men. And then the ending fight between John and the second Screwface twin was far more brutal and took place in the warehouse belonging to the Jamaican gang, who were watching the entire fight, until right at the moment where Screwface was ready to kill him, and Seagal's terror finally kills Screwface by shooting him in the head and in the body. Well, I kind of like the way it's done in the movie better. And before I get into that, I was mentioning this in Hard to Kill, but just how popular these Seagal films were. This Seagal film made $46 million in the U.S. Okay? This was Seagal's third movie. The film before it, Hard to Kill, made like $44 million. This made $46 million. Now, to compare, Van Damme's highest grossing film, Time Cop, made $44 million. In the US, I should say. And Hard Target, it made $32 million in the US. And then Universal Soldier made $36 million in the US. So, granted, some of them made more money overseas. I mean, to be fair, but still, like Universal Soldier, $36 million in the US. So, March for Death, even this made more money than any film Jean-Claude Van Damme has starred in. The reason I'm stressing that point is to showcase just how popular Seagal was at the time. $46 million box office for a martial arts film like this is a lot of fucking money. And again, just really shows how popular this guy was, which would grow. I think Out for Justice made a little bit less, and then Under Siege went like 80 million in the US and a shitload worldwide. So, if he kept that trajectory, he would have been making movies that made $100 million. But then he made Undeadly Ground, and that's when things went to the shit. And I don't even hate Undeadly Ground, but box office-wise, that was a disappointment, a flop to some people. At least a box office disappointment. But getting to this film, once again, like Above the Law and Hard to Kill, I really enjoyed March for Death. Kevin Thomas LA Tape, sleek, topical, handsome. A smart piece of hard action filmmaking, terrific energy and flair. It's a good review. What I like about this film, I like the villains, the Jamaican drug lords. I like the guy who plays Screwface. I like the little fun idea that at the end you find out they're twins. That there's two of these guys. I thought that was such a cool idea. And makes for more fight scenes and more brutality and fucking both of these twins up. And a classic one-liner at the end where he goes, I hope they weren't triplets. I thought that was really funny. Keith David as Seagal's buddy. Keith David from John Carpenter's The Thing and They Live. Great to see him in there. He does a really good job. The guy who plays the villain Screwface is really good. And despite what some people say, he's not the same guy from Predator 2. No, he's not Teen Willie from Predator 2. It's a different guy. It's not the same guy. I know, because I made sure to double check that and looked it up. But I want to get his name. Because he did a really good job, because he was creepy, he was intimidating. And James Newton Howard's score did a good job, where when he would show up, he had that weird, creepy choir that... Oh, 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 oh. I'm doing a shitty job of it. That's nowhere even close, but... Oh, oh, oh. Like, anytime he comes up screen, or most of the time, listens to the music, this sort of creepy little choir bit, and they're dealing with him and voodoo magic. Fuck you, voodoo magic, man! It does remind me of Predator 2 in that aspect, and they both came out the same year, which is even funnier. Basil Wallace, who plays Screwface, he did a really good job. He did a really good job with this flick. And he had done Wedlock with Rutger Hauer. Oh, he was in Rapid Fire as Agent Wesley. He was in the movie Caught Up. And he was in Blood Diamond. He was in Return of the Living Dead 3. Oh, he was in Eddie Murphy Raw as Eddie's father in the sketch. Remember Eddie Murphy's Raw, and you had the sketch of the little Eddie, and the guy who played Eddie's father is fucking Screwface. I didn't know that. That's pretty damn cool. But yeah, this has really... Well, this one is a pretty damn... I like Hard to Kill. I probably put Marked for Death above this. I probably say, so far... I mean, I know Out for Justice is my favorite, but... Marked for Death is up there because, I mean, right from the get-go, you have Seagal chasing Danny Trejo, beating the shit out of Danny Trejo, choke punching him through a fucking fence, putting him in a trunk, and then they go to this meeting where things go ape shit for him and his partner, and he grabs a guy, cuts a guy's neck, cuts another guy's hand off with the machete, then hits the guy with the butt of it, throws a guy through over a table, kicks another guy into a mirror. Him and his partner are trying to escape. A partner thinks everything's okay because there's a hooker with some titties out, but the hooker shoots him, so Seagal has to shoot the hooker, bloody her titties, because she was a bitch. And then his partner's dead. He does a confession. He doesn't want to do this anymore. He tells Peter Jason, who's been in a lot of John Carpenter films. He's in this for a little bit as Seagal's boss. Seagal says, I'm leaving. Goes to see his family and his sister and his niece, Danielle Harris, who, of course, had worked with Dwight H. Little on Halloween 4. I think before this, she was in the action film The Last Boy Scout with Bruce Willis. No, after this. It'd be after this, because that's 91. So it'd be after this. Goes to meet Keith David, his buddy from back in the day, who is a coach. Keith David, he's always fun to watch. It's always great to have him in a movie. Like when he's talking about his marriage, it's like, yeah, I love giving all my possessions. It makes me feel spiritual. And Seagal goes, yeah, it makes you feel poor too, right? And we're introduced to the villain Screwface. It has these creepy looking eyes. Kind of like Maid Foster. You remember her and They Live and Leviathan. Like take her eyes, put it on him. He has that creepy voice, and sometimes I couldn't understand what the Jamaicans were saying, so I actually had to put on the subtitles. I know I'm getting older, my hearing is going out, what can I say? Sometimes I couldn't understand what the fuck they were saying, so I literally had to put the subtitles on, I'll admit it. I'll admit the shit. What are they saying? And the Jamaicans are dealing with the Colombians, and the Colombians don't like the Jamaicans being there, and the Jamaicans like, fuck this, and at this bar, this club that Seagal and Keith David are at, and Seagal is sort of on this, oh, there's nothing to do about these guys who are selling drugs around your school. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Jamaicans shoot up and kill their rivals, and Seagal is able to stop one Jamaican from killing a guy. And after that, he's been marked for death. And yeah, Screwface, intimidating guy. Who you fear, him or me? That's not really his voice, but I can't do a Jamaican accent. I'm not going to try. Who do I can't do it. I don't even, yeah, I can't do it. So yeah, Seagal's marked for death. There's a drive-by on his house. His house gets shot up. His niece is in surgery, and Seagal's pissed. And him and Keith David are gonna fuck some shit up. So they go meet this guy who's got his fucking tight underwear on with two hookers, and he's all, you don't. I'm gonna, some fun dialogue. You don't, I'm gonna fuck you up. And the asshole goes, I'm gonna fucking sell you the sweat off my balls. And there's like a Jamaican guy hiding in the closet, and Seagal throws him when he tries to attack Seagal. Then the stupid ass, I'm a fucking made man, and Seagal shoots him in the head. Then the other guy is going to take him in, but the guy's scared of Screwface. He jumps out the window to commit suicide instead of facing the wrath of Screwface if he talked. And yeah, that one of the best lines in the movie. Keith Davis wondering what happened. And Seagal goes, one thought he was invincible, the other thought he was... Wait. One was invincible, the other thought he could fly. So, they were both wrong. I like that line of dialogue. And the bad guys try to do this ceremony and tie up Seagal's sister, and Seagal gets there in time, so it makes him even more fucking pissed. And they try to get these, they chase these Jamaicans, and then they get car chased through this park slash playground, and they play chicken with the guys on the sidewalk, and the Seagal shooting at them through the windshield, and the bad guys crash into sort of this jewelry store, sort of like a Tiffany's type of store. And some fun fight scenes. And yeah, Jack Craven mentions, if you watch the trailer, there's a bit where Seagal does a karate chop on a guy's neck. That's not in the film. I don't know why. Like the MPA, well, actually I do believe they would do that, because they don't like fucking nunchucks to the head, so they're not... Yeah, I do believe them, so... That's a prime example right there as to why I believe what the MPA can do. That film should not have been cut at all. It would easily be an R rating. Fucking assholes. So I do believe the American Puto Association of Assholes would do that. But still, you get some fun stuff. Throwing bad guys into the glass. He gets the guy with one knife, turns around and puts the knife right into him. Breaks one guy's arm. He grabs one, just continually smash him through fucking glass cases. And holds the guy. It's like, you fuck with my family, you die. And kicks him. And that's probably when he did the chop that you only see in the trailer. Seagal's led into this trap where there's like two things in front of him and they throw fire. Granted, of course, they leave. They don't have someone stay in case Seagal gets out. Like, I'm a fucking voodoo magic man. You stay here. If he gets out, you shoot him in the face. Otherwise, there'd be no movie. So, of course, everyone leaves and just assume. But you know what they say about assumption? You become an ass. So they assume that Seagal's going to die, but Seagal kicks out and leaves, and the car blows up, which makes him even more pissed. So after that, a third guy joins them, and they get some weapons and have this montage. Which is this here. It's pretty pointless. Watching it again, it is actually a really pointless scene when you think about it, because they found out Screwface is in Jamaica. They go to Jamaica. Seagal snipes maybe 2 or so people. And then Seagal comes in to the facility, has a night vision, avoids everybody, and he even has a gun that I don't remember seeing in the montage. He has like a grenade launcher or some type of that kind of gun. He doesn't fire one shot of it. In fact, he shoots this fucking gun with the laser sighting. He never uses that gun. He only kills a bag of meat. Great, you'll piss on Rocky Balboa, but you never use it to actually kill any bad guys with it. And Steve David with, I think, an M60. It looked like it looks like the gun that like Chuck Norris had in Missing in Action. No, what was it? Missing Action, I think. I think so, yeah. Or like Stallone had at First Blood. That I think that's an M6. I'm bad with guns. But so he has that, and then the other guy has a gun. But where's all these guns that you see Seagal putting all these bullets in? Was that for the sniper rifle? That you kill like 2 people and seemed like there was nothing special with you doing whatever the fuck you were doing with those bullets? And so what was the point of the sequence? Look at these guns that we're not going to use. If someone can explain it to me, please feel free. Was shit with that cut out? Was it reshot? Was it whoops? Was it we pulled a fast one on you? What is it? Someone explain it to me, please. But yeah, Seagal goes in, doesn't fire his guns, just sneaks in. He gets tied down, almost knocked out, tied down, breaks free pretty easily. He keeps tossing folks, clotheslining guys, breaks arms, breaks necks, and then the first Screwface, and I love this, takes his sword right to the guy's crotch, right to his nuts, and then cuts his head off. And if you, at the tail end, you can see that there's going to be a big squirt of blood, a la Kill Bill. Because I thought I saw something around it and I freeze framed, and right when he cut the head off, you could see a big thing of blood coming out as if it was, again, like you would see in Kill Bill. But I'm sure the MPA cut that shit out. And then they think they kill Screwface, they go back to Chicago, and yeah, I like some of the lines Seagal has. Now you get the fuck out of town or die. I love that. I mean, it's to the point. But the guy who's not Seagal and not T. David, the third guy, he gets stabbed by the second Screwface. They're twins, which I thought was a cool idea. And he gets some more action. You get a workshop fight scene where Seagal's fucking up these guys. He grabs one, makes one punch the guy. When the guy's punching, Seagal moves the guy's head so it punches the guy's buddy by mistake. He hits 2 people with this sledgehammer. Does it better than fucking Triple H, Nipple H would. Skewers this guy's throat. Nice little effect there. Gets one guy, breaks his leg. Has a pretty decent sword fight going over the place, and Seagal actually just beat up a little bit. He just thrown a little bit and thrown through glass repeatedly by the bad guy. So he did get beat up a bit. Because Screwface like push him into, there's this bar and there's like cabinets of the bar, bottles, and pushing Seagal or his stunt double through it, each one. But man, Seagal gets a comeuppance on this guy. Because he not only gouges both of the eyeballs, not only does he take him and break his fucking back, but then he slams his ass down a fucking elevator shaft and gets impaled. So, gouges both eyes and breaks the back and slams the guy down the elevator shaft, which the fall would kill him. But no, he gets impaled. And I'm like, then that great line, I hope they weren't triplets. That's the Seagal I miss in these movies, man. Just Not many action stars would go brutal on a villain in that way. Any one of those would have been a kill for the bad guy. But no, I'm going to do all of them. I'm going to hit the first Screwface in the nuts with a sword and cut his head off. And the second one, I'm going to gouge both eyes and break his back. Or, I mean, you could tell it's a dummy when he does it, granted. Like, when he finishes it, you could tell it's a dummy. But I go with it. I'm fine with it. And then impale it. I mean, there's like, you don't fuck with Seagal at this point with his character. You don't fuck with him. I didn't even his lines of dialogue. Get the fuck out or die. It's to the point and it's a good line. Simple but yet very effective. And then him and Keith David leave, and then what's funny when you think about it, there's certain things that kind of disappear. For example, we never know if Danielle Harris's character is going to get better. Because the last time we heard, she was having surgery and hopefully it'll go out fine. But we never hear if she's fine. So for all we know, they get back home, and then Seagal calls, is like, beep. Sorry, we lost her. I mean, it's like, wait a minute. What? And then also there's a female professor, which seemed like she would be a bigger part of the film than she really was. I think the actress's name is Joanna Pacula. Could be wrong on that. But I'm like, oh, I thought she was going to be a bigger part of the film, but she kind of says a few things and disappears. So I guess not. So there's a couple weird things of that nature. But yeah, I enjoy this film. I like, once again, good pace, 90-some minutes long, pretty short. I thought Seagal did fine. I like the bad guy, the guy who plays Screwface. He played the twins. I like that idea. I like the voodoo sort of darkness to it. I thought James Newton Howard did a good job with the score. Had quite a few good fight scenes, action sequences. Great kills for the bad guys. I mean, that's how you kill some motherfucking bad guys. Not shortchanging on that shit. Keith David, great to have him in that. That was a big plus. My only problem is just sort of some of the weird stuff that maybe that was the stuff that was cut out, or like this whole montage of these weapons that he never uses. Or what happened to Danielle Harris's character? Did she live? Did she get through her surgery okay? Did she die? And also, yeah, it'd be nice if the MPA didn't fuck with stuff, but it's the MPA. What can you do? They're fucking assholes. If you don't like Danny Trejo, you get the shit kicked out of by Seagal at the beginning of the film. And yeah, this guy did a really good job as the villain. Yeah, I really enjoyed Marked for Death. That's a really good flick. Good addition to the Seagal Golden Age era. Above the Law, Hard to Kill, then Marked for Death. And was very successful for 20th Century Fox. I'm surprised they didn't immediately get him to do another movie with them. I mean, I think this was 20th Century Fox's like second biggest hit after, what was it, after Home Alone or something? I swear I read this was literally one of their biggest hits of that year. 20th Century Fox. I mean, fun, solid action movie. I said before, I say again, it's kind of hard to review these films because they're pretty straightforward. I mean, you're not going into it for intricate plot, drama, relationships, the intricacies of political ramifications, or the existence of the soul. You're going into these to see, hey, does Seagal kick ass? Yeah. How does he kick ass? Well, he cuts a guy in the balls, in the crotch, then cuts his head off. Then another guy, he throws his ass down a fucking elevator to be impaled. And before that, he broke his back. And before that, he gouged the fucker's eyeballs out. And It wasn't boring, and it was fun to watch. And other than some things that confused me, I liked it. It was a pretty damn good flick. So thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you later for my favorite Seagal film, Out for Justice. Later.